Hi, so this is Operation Digital Pioneer Mission 1 deliverables. So what's a deliverable exactly? Excel sheets, strategies, things that we need to install, things that we need to actually produce during the course in order to complete the course. Kind of like homework, only for adults, right? And it's not just homework as in, oh, you can do this and then you'll know how to do digital marketing. No. We want to do this for your company. You have to do it for your company anyway because it's a part of the job. And then at the end of the course, you actually have done your job based on what you learned during the classes. So Operation Digital Pioneer Mission 1, all of these are the different deliverables that we'll be learning about during the course. So let's begin with basic keyword strategy, which is not so much developing a strategy per se. It's more a question of discovering which major keywords your company should already be ranking for. For example, a company called moonshinemediagroup.com is a photography services and video services company based out of Denver. So they're one of my clients, and so one of their primary keywords is photography services. Now, when you're taking the course, I'm not going to do every single keyword in the list for you and your company because that's too much work. I'm just going to do one line, one keyword, or maybe a couple of extra keywords just to cement the very concept of what we're trying to learn. In this particular deliverable, the basic keyword strategy, what we're doing is we're just establishing what is, what should be, and what can be. We're not doing a lot of research. We're not doing too much work here. We're just gathering information so that during Mission 2, Digital Marketing Strategy, after we do the keyword research, we'll be able to actually create a keyword strategy based on what we need instead of just on what we currently have. So, as you can see in this Excel sheet, it starts with a keyword, and then it continues on to the monthly searches. Now, monthly searches, you can get that from SEMRush, which is right here in this tab here. Photography Studio. No, that's not right. It's Photography Services. So we type in this particular keyword to find out how many searches per month we can expect people to type in photography services per month, and the answer is 2,400. I know it's taking forever to load. We'll come back to that in a minute. After that, we have the competitors, and the competitors is given to us by SEMrush. In this case, it's 0.22. That means that 22% of the visitors, 22% of our competitors are currently bidding or trying to target that particular keyword because it's profitable for them, and that's who we have to go up against. The higher the competitor rating, the lower the click-through rate you're going to get. Now you have to share your market with your competitors. Well, you don't have to. In fact, I'm going to teach you how to avoid sharing it all. You're going to get the entire market just for your company. But first, we have to establish what your current market share can be, and most likely will be. Ultra-competitive keywords is only in one instance where the keyword is also somebody's brand name, or they completely dominate page 1 for that particular keyword, and that's going to make it excessively difficult to rank for that particular keyword. It's rare, but it happens. In most cases, it's just 1. 1 is positive, 0 is less positive. That means you get less click-through rate. But we go through all of this during the course. I'm just briefly explaining what the deliverables are and how it works. Relevance is the relevance of the keyword to your current business. Photography services is exactly what the client does, what my client does, the company does. But photography studio, well, they have one and they rent it out, but it's not exactly their primary service. So the relevance would be lower for photography studio, for example. And all of this is then calculated out to tell you what the value of the keyword is for your company. In this case, it's 74%. The keyword value automatically reduces or increases the click-through rate. And then from there, once we have an estimated click-through rate, we know that at the maximum, we can expect 444 clicks a month for this particular keyword. The average conversion rate is how many people will will fill out a form, will call us, or will buy the photography services from the company. And that's based on your current data analytics. What is your actual conversion rate? And that's what we'll be putting up here until we have more information. Conversions projected means how many sales or leads are you going to get? How many are you going to convert into sales? And then finally, revenue based on customized average order value. In this case, the average order value is about $25,000 for a single photography services campaign. So that's a lot of money for this particular client. And this is the keyword strategy. So this is one of the several deliverables that we'll be discussing in Mission 1. The next deliverable on the list is digital marketing projections. What does that mean? Well, there's a lot of different avenues in digital marketing, a lot of different divisions of digital marketing: social media, display ads, videos, SEO, SEM, and affiliate marketing, email marketing. The list goes on. This is just a short list to explain and to give examples of what kind of media we put into the digital marketing strategy so that we can develop proper projections. In this case, we have impressions, which is how many people see your ads depending on which media source we're talking about. Then we have the cost per click, if it's applicable. If it's not applicable, as in they're not charging cost per click, well, then we can do an effective cost per click, ECPC. Effective means that we boil it backwards. So how much would it be in cost per click if we were paying cost per click? That's ECPC. So either way, we can always have a cost per click in there, unless of course it's free. Great. Then we have the conversion rate, which updates based on the media source. It's not always going to be the same conversion rate. Social media, for example, is going to have a 1% conversion rate. Display advertising is going to have half of 1%. It's really, really low conversion rate for display advertising because it's proactive marketing. It's not reactive. People are not calling you and saying, "Hey, I want to look at your banner." No, they saw your banner, they clicked on it, and they decided whether or not you were good for them that way. That is going to deliver a much lower conversion rate than SEO or SEM, where people are currently looking for your product. They typed it into Google, they found you, and of course they're going to buy. So the next step is videos. Now, in videos, you have the most incredible opportunity to speak to your consumers directly the way that I'm speaking to you. I want you to take my course. I want you to know all of the things that I'm going to teach you during the course, and I can do that during this video. So your conversion rate is going to be much higher. 2%, it's much better than 1%, but it's not going to be the highest because, once again, videos are proactive marketing. You may or may not be interested in what I have to say, but at least you know. And then reactive marketing comes in with SEO, SEM, and affiliate marketing, where your conversion rate is going to be much, much higher because your consumers will be predetermined to purchase your product. So that's where conversion rates come in. And then we have the click-through rates. Again, it's different with each media source, and you're going to be discovering this during the class, depending on which of these media sources works best for your company. Some of them you're going to decide are really bad, like social media, for example. In this particular example, I made sure that the reality of social media on LinkedIn at $3 per click and a very low conversion rate on LinkedIn will deliver a negative return on investment. You'll end up losing $2,400 instead of making money because you're going to spend up to 3,600 euros or dollars. Sorry, yeah, I forgot to change the currency on that. There we go, that's better. So you'll be spending $3,600, but you're only going to make $1,200 in revenue, and therefore you're going to lose $2,400. That's not good. So social media, LinkedIn, pay-per-click is probably not going to be a media source for this particular client, as an example. Right, then we have clicks, cost, sales. Cost per acquisition is CPA. That means for each sale, how much did you have to pay? Well, in this case, you end up paying $300 per sale for a $100 average order value. Well, that's not great. Then there's the gross profit margin, the profit per sale, which in this case is a loss, and the return on investment per sale. This allows you to really gauge the performance before you invest in a media source. You do these projections based on how I teach you to do it during the class, during the course, and you do it for your company. Following that, we have keyword research. Now, this is preliminary keyword research for search engine marketing. And search engine marketing keyword research and SEO keyword research is exactly the same. There's just one difference, is that with SEM, you have to pay per click. Whereas SEO, you get the traffic without paying. It's free. Free to a certain extent. It's free in the terms that you don't have to pay Google, but it's actually pretty intense in terms of workload, content development, optimization, time, investment. It could take quite a long time to get SEO appropriately set up, and it will incur some cost, but it's not going to be on a cost per click. Therefore, it's possible that photography services is not profitable from a search engine marketing perspective, because maybe it's too expensive. At $4.33 and a 5% conversion rate, okay, it is profitable because they have a $25,000 average order value for photography services, which means that it's definitely profitable for them. But how do I know that? Clicks, cost, sales, and cost per acquisition. For every sale they make, it's going to cost them $87 worth of clicks. Totally worth it. But not every keyword is going to be the same. And when we do our research, we look at all of the keywords in SEMRush. First, we look at the keywords themselves, and then we look at questions. The questions that your consumers are most likely to ask. In this case, first we're going to look at the basic keywords. We'll do questions later on in mission 2, mission 3. That's when we're going to start looking at more in-depth, long-tail questions, such as how do I obtain photography services, and so on and so forth. My goodness, this is taking a long time to load. There it is. Okay. I don't know why it's in French. Okay, there it is. Photography services, 2,400 searches per month. Keyword density, keyword difficulty, CPC. That's the competitor that we were talking about earlier, and so on and so forth. Photography printing services. Well, that's not really for us. Product photography services, totally something that Moonshine Media offers. Now we're talking. Now we're really doing research. This is a new keyword that the company will want to invest in and to investigate. So we copy that, and we go in here, and then we paste the keyword right in there. Product photography services. By the way, that's actually a keyword that Moonshine Media ranks for, because we made a page just for that particular keyword. Now, I'm doing it manually right now, but there are Excel sheets. We downloaded, we re-uploaded, but for the purpose of this explanation, just really briefly, I wanted to do it manually to show you just how we do it exactly and quickly. So it's 260, I believe. There it is. Values only. And then over here it's $5, I think, $5.30 if I remember correctly. Let me check. $5.58. There it is. So $5.58, and competitor is $0.84. So where is it? Here it is. $5.58. 5.58. And the competitor, oops, I put it in the wrong field, is 0.84. There we go. Now we're talking. Why does it keep doing euros? Okay, there we go. Now we get a really good idea of what we can actually expect. We're looking at 6 clicks instead of 58 because it's a different keyword, a lot less impressions. 6 clicks at a cost of $34. The sales, we're looking at about 1 sale for every 300 clicks. So we're really not getting that many. Well, we're looking at 0.31 clicks. So the chances of you getting a sale are about 1 in 3 off of this particular keyword. And then we're looking at a cost per acquisition on average of about $112 per sale. Again, with a $25,000 ticket item on the menu, we're looking at a really high profit margin. The revenue will be about $7,800 because there's only 6 clicks, and it calculates just how many, and this is a calculation per month. If we look at it over the course of a year, it'll be much higher than this. But the return on investment is almost 100% because it's almost just completely free of charge. Well, it's not free of charge. It's only $5.58 a click, but we're really only expecting about six clicks per month from this particular keyword. That's how we do keyword research in general. Now, this was very manual, it was very bulky. We tend to do it with Excel so that we download the keyword list and then we upload it into the system, and then all of a sudden, boom, we get to see every keyword right away, right here, and we get to see the ROI in advance before we ever make a decision on which keyword we really want to target and which ones we want to ignore because they're just not profitable. So that's another deliverable. The next deliverable is SEMRush. What is SEMRush exactly? It's structured data. Now, most companies, most websites have amazing content on their website, but they're not properly structured out. It's a tragedy because by enhancing the content that you have, Google will show featured snippets on the front page of Google, placing your listing above position 1, which is really, really exciting. Most companies don't even put their logos in structured data so that their logos show up on Google instead of just having plain old text. And that's the most basic thing ever. There are product listings. There are so many different techniques. And this is something that we go through one by one to determine which of the structured data and featured snippets are relevant to the business. Moving forward from there, for the structured data, we want to establish what kind of company yours is in terms of the very, very, very limited company types that Google structured data has to offer. It puts everybody into about 36 different categories, and they're not very well established. Most companies will end up just being a store. Right here, most companies will just be a store. That's it. That's the whole description of the company. As far as structured data is considered. Real estate agent is much more specific, but these others are just crazy. Anyway, see, there's only 30 separate categories that Google will accept for what kind of business do you have. Because I don't know why. Anyway, we establish where your company is so that we can properly structure out your company. And then finally, we talk about conversion rate optimization. Now, this particular CRO checklist is so long, it actually goes down to 100 questions, 110 separate questions, not just for your company, but for competitors and all kinds of stuff. And all of this revolves around increasing the amount of people that buy from you after they visit your website and your company. And that's what the whole course talks about. We share this information, we guide the students on how to establish a proper digital marketing data set so that when we do the strategy in mission 2, we know what to do, we know where we're going, we already have all the data prepared. Now we can start building a digital marketing strategy in mission 2. Now that we've talked about deliverables for mission 1, let's talk about SEMRush and properly setting up SEMRush for the company. Now, once you've installed, once you've paid for SEMRush, it's very important that you set up a project. Now, the project is right here. It's under projects, and it establishes your domain name and it tracks everything about your company, which is extremely important to achieve over the long term. Otherwise, you'd have to do everything manually. So we have the site audit, which is very, very technical, but it gives you all of the instructions on what you need to do, and it prioritizes those particular things that need to be changed from a technical perspective. Of course, during the course, we'll share with you the ones that you do need to change and the ones you can ignore. Position tracking tracks the keywords for SEO and for SEM and everything else on Google, Bing, and Yahoo, as well as, I think, Baidu in multiple languages. It's really great, but you cannot do on-page SEO checker until you have actually done the position tracking setup for this particular project point. So that's really, really important. And that's what we're going to be sharing with you during mission 1, is we'll help you set all of this up for basic keywords and for on-page SEO checker, which is important for each keyword. It's going to check the website to see which pages applies to that particular keyword, and then what needs to be done in order for you to get to position 1 and to increase your clicks. So it's a very, very powerful tool. In fact, SEMRush is the best tool in the world for SEO, SEM, and digital marketing reporting, especially competitor research. We'll be setting up the social media tracker, not the social media poster. We're not there yet. We'll be setting up social media poster, which is to post social media posts, articles and whatnot, on a scheduled basis over time. Now we'll be talking about that in mission 2, but we'll be setting it up in mission 3 during implementation. We can set up brand monitoring right away because that only targets your brand name and it separates it out from the rest of the research. Backlink audit we can set up right away. Link building we can set up right away. PPC keyword tool is for mission 2, not for mission 1. Ad builder is for mission 3 because that's implementation. Organic traffic insights, I believe, we can set up right away because then it starts tracking your Google Analytics and your Google Search Console, and it merges the data along with all of the other stuff in here, so we can set that up right away. And I think we can also set up the content analyzer in mission 1. So all of that we'll be doing together during mission 1, and this is just another deliverable for the course. Going back to the Excel sheet, we'll also be setting up Google Search Console, which is relatively easy to set up, and then of course Google Analytics. Now, even if you already have Search Console and Analytics set up, we still need to go in there and set up different profiles, different views, different reporting structures, and we need to make sure that you're collecting the right data for your company. That is paramount, because even one tiny mistake up until this point, and you haven't been collecting data at all up until this point. And that's a really crucial aspect of, that's the final and the most crucial aspect of mission 1, is making sure 100% that you're finally collecting all the data that you need in order to make logical decisions. That's why this is a 2-year program instead of a just 3-week program, because you need time to collect the data and analyze it. And then you're going to need help to analyze the data at different stages of the digital marketing strategy and development over the next 2 years. Right. Well, I hope that helps. This covers all of the deliverables for mission 1, and this really does just wrap up everything that we wanted to talk about. So I'll see you in mission 2.